So I recently posted a question on my Instagram story about developmental edits, but I kind of left it open to other editing suggestions or questions or comments or what have you. And one actually really caught my attention. How to get a plot when you only have setting/world building. Now this is a totally different method than what I would ever usually come at writing something about, and it kind of just kept piquing my interest, so naturally I thought this would make an interesting video topic. So as I was planning out this video, I kind of realized that I had too many talking points for one video, so this will be the first part of a two-part video series. So for the sake of this exercise, I'm going to assume this is about a fantasy or sci-fi project. As always, this is my view on things, and this is how I would apply my personal processes to this idea. I'd also like to disclose at this time that I consider myself an extreme outliner, so I will try and give suggestions that might be helpful to more than just extreme outliners, but keep that in mind. Alright, so if I had a bunch of world building, but no plot or characters, and I wanted to go about creating a novel in this world, I would start by opening a fresh document and asking myself lots and lots of questions. I want to start narrowing down the type of story I'm looking to tell first. I'm just going to carry on like this is a fantasy world because that is what I'm most familiar with, and just to keep things simple. I know, a fantasy author wanting things to be simple. That's just kind of a wild concept. So the kind of questions I would start with are as follows. So first, I would consider what kind of book I'm actually looking to write. Am I leaning maybe more towards a dark adult fantasy or maybe a middle grade magical novella? So I would use in this case all the world building information that I have to help me determine what sort of setting and style the story could be. I might even give myself a 30-minute timer and build a speed Pinterest board for the world. And this sounds a little silly, but keep with me. I would go through Pinterest and find as many pictures as I can that fit the mood that I see for this world. And then at the end of that, I would look at all the pictures in the board as a whole and see what kind of sort of aesthetic that looks like to me. That would help me narrow down on the kind of world that I'm looking at and what sort of mood that I'm going for. My next question to myself would be, who are your readers? So even if this isn't something I was actually intending to publish, I would just pretend for the sake of the exercise that I do. I would consider things like where in the bookstore I might see this kind of work, and what kind of reader might pick it up to look at the back cover. And now since I have an idea of the age range and the mood that I'm going for, I can start to narrow down who my readers might actually be. Are they maybe adults who like drama and gore, or are they teens who like comic magical adventures with unicorns who poop magic beans? So just these couple of questions right here will narrow me down a lot on who my reader will be, and that will actually be able to tell me who my main character will be in a sort of way. Your main character is usually sort of a reflection of who your readers might be. Not always, but it can help you get at least a little bit closer. So just these couple of questions will get us closer to who our main character might be and some details like their age, gender, and what kind of mood the general story will be. So for example, a coming-of-age fantasy will likely follow a teen to young adult main character, and they'll be going through some of the same things that the readers who are also their same age will be going through in their own life. This is also important because the details of your plot will kind of revolve around what your tone is. You wouldn't have the tweens with their snarky unicorn trying to battle the Dark Lord who always rips out people's throats. Unless maybe you would, and that would give you a very specific genre and setting, which, you know, this helped then. Alright, so now we are narrowing things down. I have a better idea of what this hypothetical book might be about. Since in this hypothetical situation I already have lots of world building done, I would take a look at what cultures and races I already have developed so that I can see where this main character of mine might fit in. I would consider what kind of people live in this world of mine that I've already created, and which ones I would be most excited to write about and learn as I continue to grow the story. So all these questions are really just leading you to get to know your main character more and start building up who they are. Because once you start to understand them on a more personal level about their past and whatnot, you will start to get ideas for where the plot could go. Because obviously, everything revolves around the main character. Like when I started my Alexia Legends series, the first book was The Delinquent Crown. The whole idea for everything just came from the idea of two siblings, teen siblings from Earth who travel to a magical land. Like that was the starting of it, and so from there I built off of that. But the next most important thing for me was figuring out who these characters were and how to best tell their story. So your plot ideas will often come from a combination of your characters and your world and how they interact with different things. There are things about storytelling and the practices that we have in general that are just really fascinating and so insightful to learn as a beginner writer that will help you get ideas on what kind of elements you're actually looking for as far as plot devices and what sort of events you can think about to happen and different ways to push your character into new situations that will challenge their beliefs. So in the next video, I'll dive a bit more into creating ideas for plot events. So if you'd like to see it, make sure that you click the bell icon so you get notified when the video goes live. If you'd like to dive into my fantasy world of Alexia, you can check out Age of the Gods, which is a free short story over on my website, sydneyfaith.com. I'll leave a link down below. All you have to do is sign up to get it for free. Alright, that's all. Thank you for watching. I will see you with the next part of this video very soon.